we can see right off the bat that Mr. Simon has spawned in the top left-hand corner of Ohana. And TargA down in the bottom, top left and bottom right is where TargA is.
Of course, guys, this is not a live replay as they've played before TargA went down to DreamHack Valencia. We would never force him to play in the middle of the night if he is attending a LAN event. Sheth probably could have played live right now. He would have been, no, 6,
yeah, he's actually going to be joining
PM.
us tomorrow for a little Heart of the Swarm action. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have Sheth versus Letod.
We're going to have so much Heart of the Swarm action in the upcoming weeks, man. And I'm excited about that because I'm not afraid to admit that over the last 2 weeks, Heart of the Swarm is the only StarCraft I've played.
You know, it's been mostly Heart of the Swarm for me too, Kev. I played a Wings of Liberty ladder game right before we went live, and it struck me two things. One, how much easier the Heart of the Swarm ladder is, because most people that play are really bad. And two, how much worse I've gotten at Wings of Liberty because, well, I've been playing against really easy opponents.
Yeah, I think I'm having the same thing right now. That's why I'm playing a lot of Heart of the Swarm, because like, man, I'm playing so good. I'm winning so many of my games. And every now and then when I do lose, I either lose against someone who's insanely good, or I just lose because I'm playing around and I want to make Tempest. So it's, I must say, for my mind, it's very, very relaxing to play Heart of the Swarm. For all you guys at home that are hating a little bit right now, guys, stop talking about Heart of the Swarm. You're making us jealous. We did just gave away a couple of beta keys in our little Subscribers Saturday action. Ben, you can tell the people more about that?
Yeah, and I mean, long story short, Blizzard gave me permission to invite 25 new people into the Heart of the Swarm beta. So we've been doing little things here and there as a sort of outreach to our fans. So guys, if you would like to get involved in the Heart of the Swarm beta, one of the best ways that you can do it is submit content ideas to your favorite segments. For instance, if you like Fierce Fitness with Frodan, you can email Dan at NASL.tv and say, hey, Dan, you should do this exercise, or you should work out this muscle group. If Dan uses it, he will submit your BattleNet email to Blizzard, and you'll be invited to the beta.
For the people who got slightly upset about what TargA just said, TargA is just trolling. If you guys do not know TargA very well, he's an extremely friendly and funny guy, and he loves to troll. In Warcraft 3, TargA was known, but I can say this without offending him, he was definitely not known for his playing skill. He was not absolutely terrible, but he would never do anything meaningful in a tournament. But TargA was one of the most active people ever on the SK Gaming forums, and SK Gaming was kind of like, let's say, the Reddit or Team Liquid for the Warcraft 3 community back then. And TargA was just a huge troll, and he's always been kind of trolling about that Americans are bad in RTS and that Europeans are so much better, and that he hates losing against Americans. That's why he just said, last week I lost against a horrible American, but obviously he does not mean that, because I'm sure that he has a ton of respect for Vibe, since Vibe is anything but a terrible American player.
Second best player in North America, according to WCS results, winning the American title, and then coming in second place to Scarlet at the Continental Final.
I'm always a little bit careful whenever someone does really well at one event, like whether it's WCS or not. Like, I would never call Vortex the second best player in Europe, even though he's, of course, damn good. But with Vibe, I have no problem calling him at least the second best North American Zerg. Because if you win your Nationals and then also place top 2 at the Continental Finals, only losing against the best Canadian, then it's starting to become pretty meaningful.
That's consistency, and let's not disregard the fact that not only did he win those events, or win and finish second in those 2 events, but also beat all the other contenders on his path. So if we jump over into the game of Sheth versus TargA, we can see Baneling Nest already building for Sheth. TargA is being a little bit slower about getting his Baneling Nest down. We see he's only mining gas with a single drone. We'll probably throw down the Baneling. There we can see the drone going out for that Baneling Nest when it starts. I thought that was for the Baneling Nest. Either way, when he starts his Baneling Nest, I'm pretty sure he'll go ahead and put 2 more drones back on gas so that he can actually produce Banelings.
Well, he is mining a little bit of gas, but so far he's not doing it yet. Maybe he's just going to go something crazy with a lot of links, but it's so, because he's producing many links. Perhaps he just feels like he needs them. Of course, both players went hatcheries first. We did not mention that while we were just discussing about everything that's been going on in this weekend, because Ben...
TargA trying to hide his Zerglings, but Sheth gets a great scout in and sees it all. There that Baneling Nest does go down, and like we discussed, 3 more drones back on gas.
And we see quite a few links from TargA already making his way across the map. There are 2 Banelings morphing right now for Sheth. Oh, TargA, you're playing with fire, and he loses a lot of those Zerglings immediately to the first Baneling. Ben, that was around 11 links for 1 Baneling.
And that is what you call not quite worth it, Kev. It makes it very difficult for him to maintain this aggression after losing that many units.
Oh, trying to pick off 1 Baneling right there, but Sheth being well aware of this. Using all of his links to kill that single link and keeps his Baneling alive. So good job so far. Sheth already upgrading to layer, man.
Yeah, maybe wanting to show us some Mutalisk play, as he doesn't really have any additional tech down. He's also going for 4 gas. TargA right now forced to play defensively, morphing some Banelings right there on...
That's the wrong moment, I think, to morph those Banelings, and he ends up losing most of his links, and he's going to end up losing this Queen as well. Wow, this is going so extremely good so far for Sheth.
Oh, one Baneling does detonate on drones, though, and that is actually going to give TargA the room he needs to clean this up. With not that many losses, Kev, not a single drone dying. Certainly he lost that Queen, certainly he lost a lot of Zerglings.
Yeah, he produced way more Zerglings so far than Sheth did. Look at the units lost resource tab. 550 minerals now in any other matchup. That's not really a big deal, but in ZVZ, that's a pretty damn big deal.
Yes, it is, and what is TargA going to do from here? I'm very curious to see if he does go for the mass Baneling play that we know him for, and there it is, 7 more Banelings into production immediately.
Roach Run is morphing in right now for Sheth. He's already creating a little bit of a wall, perhaps. Did some homework and knows how TargA loves to play this matchup. He of course saw most of the links making their way across the map. Here come all the Banelings. Ben, it's going to be so hard for TargA.
Oh, he really has to make sure that these Banelings go in 2 at a time so that Sheth can't kill a lot of them with 2 Banelings of his own. But TargA's doing a great job so far. He's going to go ahead and get up into the natural. That's a very scary Baneling. And TargA, oh wow, does get a connection on the drones, but only a single connection means that he's not going to get that many worker kills.
He still has a couple of active links right now, but he's going to lose all of those links to the last remaining Baneling for Sheth. So I guess that went good for Sheth as well. Even though TargA killed quite a bit, Sheth is stacking right now, but Army Supply tells the tale. 25 against 5. 12 roaches already in production for Sheth and roach speed, while Layer is just now on the way for TargA.
This is best case scenario for Sheth, Kevin. He has avoided any sort of real damage, and now he's got superior units out on the map. TargA's Roachborn's not even done. And if Sheth were to go ahead and make an attack right now, it would be very, very difficult to hold. We can see that he's only producing units. I think he's going to go with +1 and with roach speed. I mean, this is kind of just the old +1 roach speed burrow timing.
Completely forgot to ask you, Ben. We, of course, always are supposed to make predictions before the start of the game. We give those predictions to our producers, so guys, we're not trying to sneak in a few minutes trying to get the right guess. Ben, who did you predict to win this series?
I did pick TargA to take this series, in spite of the fact that he looks like he's in a little trouble on 10 minutes into Ohana.
Yep. Well, he has 16 roaches in production right now, and he actually has a worker advantage. He's on 50 drones against, well, just now Sheth is making 10 drones as well, but Sheth was only at 37. Army Supply is still slightly in favor of Sheth, but it's going to take a little while before his reinforcements make their way across the map. Good thing is he has roach speed, and just now roach speed is starting for TargA. I did pick Sheth, by the way, to win this series, even though I truly love TargA. Great guy.
Oh, Sheth going to walk right up into the natural. Oh, wow, kills that Spinecrawler so very fast. And that's the key right here, the burrow, Kev. There's no detection in play for TargA. Sheth's just going to burrow damaged roaches and then unburrow them after they've had a chance to heal a little bit. This is an undefensible push. TargA knows it. GG is called, and Sheth takes game 1 very quickly.
Undefensible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Indefensible.
Undefendable?
Cannot be defended.
Sound a little bit like White Rob, man. You sound a little bit like White Rob. I would love it if you turn a little bit more White Rob. Just slightly more Ukrainian.
He makes attack, and there is no defense for it.
So really good game by Sheth. I mean, I think from start to finish, Sheth just got ahead in all the minor engagement. He traded well. TargA made a lot of links early on, but of course we all know ZVZ. If you make all those links and you don't really do anything useful with them, you're just not going to be able to win the game in the long run.
Well, I mean, really, believe it or not, guys, as silly as it sounds, that entire game comes down to all the Zerglings that TargA lost to the one Baneling.
In the very beginning. You know, I was thinking, if you are a gambler, you must love ZVZ. Because you see those Banelings morph, but you have no idea when they started to morph. And you're like, shall I do it or not? And TargA was like, yeah, I'll do it. But right on that moment, the Banelings were actually 99% done. So wrong moment. And from there on, Ben, it was just a snowball effect. Great game by Sheth, though. Did pretty much everything right.
Did well, absolutely everything right, and seized that opportunity to win the game. Didn't fall back and build a ton of drones. Instead, said, "Hey, I know I can win with +1 roaches," and that's exactly what happened. Guys, we're gonna take a very short break. Game 2, TargA versus Sheth. When we get back, that game was brought to you by Kingston Hyper.